Well, good afternoon, good evening, or what have you, my dear friends. We're back for another Bill Crane Report with my good friend Dwayne Weiss.
Hello, boys and girls.
And we're going to give you our opinion on quite a few things.
We are not ever lacking for opinions.
That's right. So, Dwayne's been watching the hearings this morning. Let's have the report. What's going on with the hearings for Kaufman?
Well, I think that Dr. Ford's going to be, what do they call it, sainted? It's beatified? Because the Democrat senators that testify are already building the statues.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. You'd think that this woman was a hero. One actually said, "You are a hero to all women and young ladies in the country." And Dr. Ford got tears in her eyes.
Wow.
She was just like, "Yes, I am. Yes."
Oh, be still my pounding heart.
If you watch it, it is every one of the Democrats that the senators that testify are there blowing their own horn.
Of course.
That's what they're doing. And they throw her a little bone here and there, but they're blowing their own horn. They're not getting anything. And I do not think that the prosecutor they picked is real effective. She's too mild.
For the Republicans?
Yes.
Yeah, they told her to tone it down.
Did they tell her to tone it down? Because she just does not go on the attack.
No, because you're afraid of this woman being made a victim in St. Joan of Arc and burned at the stake and all that stuff.
Even I am, God knows I'm not a trained investigator or anything else, but I caught her a couple of lies.
Of course.
This morning.
Yeah.
She told us that, well, the reason that she didn't come to testify for the committee, she's afraid to fly. So the next question, I got to give the prosecutor credit there. She said, "How'd you get here?" "Well, on an airplane." "Oh, and where were you going after that?" "Well, I came from Manchester, New Hampshire." "How'd you get from there?" "I flew down here." "Oh," and it said, "and we also noticed that your hobby is among surfing and some kind of marine biology and all that stuff." She says, we've noticed you've been all over the world. You go to Hawaii, you've been to South America, you've been to Peru, how do you get to these places?" Well, I fly." "So you fly pretty regular, don't you?" "Well, yeah." "But you were afraid to fly out for the committees, that's right?" "Yeah, I was. But they had to force me to get on a plane." "Did they have to force you to go to Hawaii?" "Well, no. But it's little stuff like that, but it adds to the lack of credibility of her.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. One of the things that's lost here in this whole thing is our laws are set up so that when you are tried, you must be found guilty beyond all reasonable doubts.
You got that exactly right. And I'll tell you what happened here. This is my opinion, anyway. With the advent of Black Lives Matter and now Me Too, we have flipped our judicial system upside down. It used to be innocent until proven guilty. Now it's guilty until proven innocent.
If you're a man.
Yeah, if you're a man, of course. Right. It's very selective.
That's right. But now, instead of being guilty, innocent until proven guilty, now it's gender politics.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on what gender you happen to join.
The Globe actually today admitted no matter what happens, Kavanaugh's reputation is skewered for the rest of his life. Even if he's totally innocent, because that's the way things work today. You're always, when you're accused, you're assumed guilty on today of any of these kind of things.
Yeah.
So,
but you notice when the Republicans, when Obama put up that fellow at the end of his term, the Republicans did not say one word against him.
Nope.
They just used parliamentary procedures to hold it up until the election. Yep. They never started with identity assassination.
That's right.
But this bunch,
Oh, they sling arrows just.
they are beneath contempt.
They are. I said to Monica, I said, there's a couple of guys there. I said, they ought to be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah.
They really should.
Yep. But that's it with politics.
Yep.
God, you see it everywhere.
Blumenthal from, what was it, Connecticut? He should have
Yep.
been ashamed of himself.
Absolutely.
A guy named Coons, he should have been ashamed of himself.
Yeah.
Who else? There was something really made a fool of themselves.
Yeah, well, it's, you know.
I don't know if Miss California testified before I started watching it. I'm sorry I missed her.
How about the, I've got it here someplace, I'll find it, but the senator from Hawaii, I don't have this stuff in terribly good order here. It's on a white piece of paper. Mazie Hirono, Democrat, Hawaii. Mm-hmm. Men should all shut up and women should all be believed.
It's the most ridiculous crap.
She's a Democratic senator.
Yeah.
Yeah. They want to get control of the Senate. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, with nitwits like that.
And it matters who it is, too, because yesterday, or day before yesterday, last Wednesday, they had an article about the GOP using tactics on Trump. And I don't want to belabor this thing, but it says, it starts out, deny the accusation, attack the accuser, then soothe the political base by going on, it says Fox, but any news to explain it away, and most importantly, never back down. That's the playbook President Trump has used to sidestep multiple allegations of womanizing and sexual misconduct against him. Now, take Trump's name out of there and put Bill Clinton in there. Same exact
One
tactics.
size fits all.
Same exact tactics.
Exactly.
Same exact accusations.
Destroy your accuser.
The media treated it 180 degrees different.
Yep, absolutely. Well, to show that there's madness all over the world,
Okay.
let's switch over to Paris, France. Marine Le Pen, who is the far-right party chairman. The court has ordered her to undergo a psychiatric exam for tweeting brutal images of Islamic State violence.
Okay.
Thank goodness we don't live in France.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is if she's going to be accused of saying and doing stupid things, let's look at what a certain lady has been saying lately. Just because someone is here illegally doesn't mean they broke any of our laws.
That doesn't make sense.
We should only deport illegal aliens if they do something illegal.
I'm not very smart. In fact, I'm probably stupid sometimes. But if you're an illegal alien, you've already done something wrong.
Building a wall will violate the rights of millions of illegals.
That's just total nonsense.
If we hadn't, this is good. If we hadn't fought the war on terror, the VA wouldn't be having so many problems. And finally, May's job report shows that strong employment numbers mean little. These were all spoken by the Democratic leader in the House, Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, well, consider the source. Oh, Lord. I said before, I think there's something in the water in California.
This one's even better than any of the others I've read. Representative Sheila Jackson Lee, Democrat
Yep.
out of Texas. Homicide is the leading cause of murder.
Death, too. I'm sorry.
But if you're ready for the finale here,
Okay.
Vermont State Senator Mary Ann Carter, a Democrat. We must be able to arrest people before they commit crimes. By registering guns and knowing who has them, we can do that. If they have guns, they are pretty likely to commit a crime.
There was a movie, a science fiction movie about that, and I don't remember what the name of it was. They could go in the future and see who was going to commit a crime, and they'd arrest it a day.
Elizabeth Warren. Criminal justice system is racist from front to back.
That riled police departments all over the country.
You know, you can't make this stuff up.
No, and they don't hold her to this kind of stuff
I know
either.
it. They don't
just let
say,
her-
hey, what were you talking
Yeah.
about? Yeah, when she goes on CNN or MSNBC, they take these huge softballs
Yep.
and throw them
right up.
gently in her direction.
I don't want to. This headline just tore me up. I started to laugh. Monica said, "Well, how do you know things are still like that?" It said Kavanaugh allegations stagger Yale campus.
Stagger it.
Stagger it.
Everybody is staggering
Student
around.
Judge almost moderate protests his nomination. School launches a related probe. The professors were canceling classes so the kids could go protest. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was in school, something like this wouldn't have staggered the campus. No. Hell, the keg parties would have never stopped. Where did these college students all become so pious and so
here's the crazy part.
social conscious?
The ones that he releases from class all got an A for that day.
Well, of course they did.
Yep. And what they should have done if they had any brains is go drinking.
Yep. I would have said I was going to the process and then went to the bar.
That's right. President Trump is considering a U.S. base in Poland. What are your thoughts on that? The Poles are willing to pay for it.
Well, yeah, because it will bring a hell of a lot of economic development and a lot of money.
And a lot of protection.
Yep, and a protection too, yeah, because they got that, they sit on that border with the Soviet, or there I go again, with Russia.
Yeah. And everybody's all up in arms here. But Poland is already meeting the native goal of spending 2% of its gross domestic product on defense. I think this is a fantastic move.
Better Poland than some places we got.
That's right. And the Poles are friends of ours.
That's right. And they're pro. They want it.
That's right. And our last president kind of pulled the rug out from underneath them.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So this is Duda, his name is, the president. Poland is willing to make a very major contribution to the United States to come in and have a presence in Poland. And Trump added, if they're willing to do that, it's something we will certainly talk about.
Yep.
I think it's a great move for peace.
Yep.
The grand jury down in Dallas is faced with a bit of a conundrum with this police officer.
Oh my, I know where you're going there.
Found her way into the wrong apartment and shot the black man that was in there and killed him.
I was going to comment on it, but good thing you mentioned that because I forgot all about it.
Well, lay it on me, buddy.
No, my thing again, every account says white officer, black victim. What in the hell does the color that these two people have to do with each other?
Zero.
But they have to make this something racist.
Can I just bring in one point and then turn you right back on? If this was a white police officer, they would have lynch mobs down there looking for him. But it's a female police officer.
What if it was a black female officer and a white, say, an elderly gentleman? Now, where would the press handle it there?
Oh, they'd say he made
Tragic
an aggressive
mistake.
move towards her, and
tragic mistake.
terrible mistake. They fired her.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I believe there's no doubt that she's going to face manslaughter charges.
Oh, you can bet on it.
Yep. Down in Texas, they don't mess around.
No, they don't.
Don't mess with Texas. Experts are split on her credibility, by the way. That's about the strongest the Globe got.
I find that true. No, I don't know, because we don't know the whole story.
That's right.
The fact that I can't imagine myself, and I don't think you can either, walking into somebody else's house or apartment, even if they're built looking like. When you open that door, he's going, "This ain't my place."
Yeah.
Or even when you get to the door.
Right.
Did the key work? Why did her key work in his? Or apparently it wasn't locked.
I think it wasn't locked.
But even then, she should have, if she sure locks hers.
Oh, how does it smell different?
Yeah, that's right. That's another thing.
Yeah.
This isn't my place.
Right.
Yeah.
There's too much here. First of all, how the hell could she get in? I think it was the wrong building, too.
Wrong floor, I think.
Wrong floor.
Yeah.
This just doesn't make sense that you could possibly. Now, let's just say she'd lived there at least 3 months.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, but probably she's lived there a couple of years. How the heck could you get into the wrong place?
I don't know.
And then pull out a gun and shoot him.
It doesn't make any sense.
She thought, she says she thought he was a prowler or a burglar or a brute in her apartment going to do her harm. I don't think she's going to win that argument.
No.
You know what? Joe Sixpack could perhaps win that argument, but not a trained police officer.
No, because if assuming these places are laid out similar, the same, first thing you do, and it's nighttime, correct? So you walk in, you flip on the white light switch. You go, whoa, when did I get that big a TV?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. Or, I don't have fried chicken at night.
That's right.
Or, the smell of beer or something like that.
Yeah, just there's so many clues that would have triggered that.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. I got so bloody much stuff here I want to get to. Believable is not acceptable as evidence. Some of this lady, Dr. Ford's cheering squad, have said she's very believable. Mm-hmm. That's not acceptable as evidence.
No. You're only believable to the people that are receiving your message, and if they're of like mind, you're going to be believable to them.
By the way, would you care to comment on Senator Dianne Feinstein's doing the hesitation waltz with the letter?
No, I do not like that woman. I cannot stand that woman. I think she's totally
evil.
Evil. Not evil.
I'm helping you.
Well, evil. I'll take evil. She's an embarrassment to the country.
She is. Yeah. She sat on this thing for 6 or 7 weeks. And they could have had their FBI.
She's so political.
Of course.
That they will do anything to stop this nomination. Yeah. I mean, if I was Kavanaugh, I'd be careful to go outside,
Well, he's getting death threats all over the place. Now, does this smell anything like Robert Bork's nomination and where that went? Mm-hmm. When Brother Kennedy flushed him down the tubes?
Exactly.
With character assassination. Yep. That is the same thing is going on here. And you'd think this country would learn. Yep. But they don't. Because the media is blasting away.
It's almost a game with them today.
Yeah.
To be just total anti-administration, no matter what it is.
Well, look, you know what Schumer said the day after the election? We're going to oppose everything Trump wants.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So the hell with the country. The hell with bipartisanship.
That's the whole thing. It's go ahead. I'm just I got something here I want to just comment that fits with that. The woman that beat Capiano.
Oh yeah, Ayanna Pressley.
Yeah.
She said I believed her.
She said right after the election, you know, what's your goal now? She says, I'm going to Washington to fight Trump.
Yeah.
Well, God almighty, they weren't elected to go to fight Trump. You were elected to represent your constituents.
That's right. That's
Anybody
exactly
could go
right.
fight Trump.
Yeah.
You and I are smart enough to do that if we were so inclined to do it.
Yeah.
They elected her to be a representative of the people.
Yeah.
No, she's going to fight Trump.
Yeah. This is what's wrong with this whole mess. You know, by the way, I used to get the Kiplinger letter.
Yep.
Kind of a waste of space. I mean, it's the same crap over and over. But there's a couple of things in this one I thought I would talk about for a minute. More states and cities want employers to pay tipped workers minimum wage. What's your thinking on that?
Well, I don't think there should be both. Either you're a tipped worker or you're a paid employee. Because how do you establish what that job is worth? You really can't. And I agree that some of those tipped workers don't make a lot of money and they work damn hard for
$2.40 an hour or something like that. I mean,
their take home at the end of the week sometimes is not all that great.
That's right.
But again, it's the nature of the job.
Up and down.
Up and down.
Rainy weather. Nobody goes out to eat.
Yep.
Well, I tell you.
I don't, but as far as, I think they should pay them
a living wage.
Yeah, it's a little bit more than $2.40 or whatever it is. I'm talking restaurant workers here. What does a waitress get today?
$2.40 an hour.
Is that what it is?
No, approximately, yeah.
And then she works on tips, or he works on tips.
It's it's an insult actually what they're paying them.
Mm-hmm.
I think the restaurants should pay these people a living wage, and you don't publish the tip scales and all that. But if you find a waiter or a waitress that does an extraordinary job for you, and you want to add 10% to the bill, that's between you and him and her.
Exactly.
But I think that they should, if some people are getting $15 an hour, actually, this is good. Security guards now, they unionized in Boston, and they're copying the wage structure coming out here in the suburbs. $15.34 an hour. Well, I think waiters and waitresses deserve that.
Yep.
But like in Europe,
exactly,
you only tip when it's not expected.
Yeah, it's not this automatic 15 or 20%.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, I tip. I used to tip probably more. I still like to tip. I didn't say I like to. I feel better if I do tip somebody. But I even to a point, non-service people, by non-service I mean non-restaurant people. We put new windows in a couple of years ago. And these two guys, they were from Poland, they worked for the company, were the nicest, cleanest, most considerate guys you ever see. And they got done. They moved all the furniture back and stuff. They were there for 2 days. I gave each $50 over and above the $1,600 or $16,000 I paid for the damn windows. But it's they were getting a living wage. They were not a tipped job.
I had the guy pump out the cesspool.
Yeah.
And he did a good job getting on everything. He shoveled it out for me and everything. And I see. Heaven's sakes, I gave him $20 and said, hey, have a couple on me tonight.
That's usually I tell him.
They're doing something
Yep.
to earn it.
Exactly.
You shouldn't be expected to tip automatically when someone is just going through the motions.
And these guys that, like your septic pumper and these guys that are putting the windows in and delivery people, they don't expect it. They appreciate it, but they'd never give you that evil eye, like, "Ooh, cheapskate, stiff me."
Yeah, it's a bonus for them. Yeah. Employees are adjusting their policies to account for cannabis legislation. Many are dropping marijuana from pre-hiring drug testing for non-hazardous positions. They say weed testing restricts the applicant pool too much in a tight labor market. What happens when you have this guy working for you, he's doing a good job and you want to promote him, and you say to yourself, I don't know about this. We're going to put him on this expensive machinery. We should probably drug test him, but he's been no problem, but I don't know.
Well, we have a conundrum now.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. We have a conundrum because we're wading into uncharted waters with this stuff.
Yep.
And I don't have any idea. I don't have a solution. If I did, I wouldn't be sitting here retired on Social Security, and I'd be rich. I'd be using as an advisor or a consultant or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Bill. I really don't. And
this really is a problem that there's probably no solution to that's going to make everybody happy.
No, there is not.
No. But I thought there was one other thing here. This is my favorite. They comment, tired of the cramped, narrow seats on commercial flights? You're not alone.
I certainly am.
Congress is concerned.
I saw just a brief something
and
like that.
the Democrats and the Republicans are working on a bill to have minimum seat sizes and minimum back and forth. Some of the seats are so bloody tight now. I don't know how the hell I ever fit in them.
Oh yeah, you're big this way. I'm big this way.
Yeah.
And I literally, if that person in front of them puts that seat back a little bit, I'm done.
Dead.
It's first of all, it's in my knees, right, banging on my knees, and I can't put my tray down. It only comes to my ledge here, so
and it sort of slants.
Just like this. I always tell them, I said, could you? And if they don't,
you got to put your knees into it.
But Monica hates this. She says, you're going to get in a fight someday. I tend to start accidentally on purpose kicking the back of that seat every time I move, just to make it as miserable as I can for them, because you rotten SOB, you don't have to put that thing back.
I'll tell you, the seat width has gone from 35 inches to 31 inches, and now some budget carriers have it down to 28.
That's right.
Man alive. But this is one thing Congress has been able to agree on.
Yep.
And there's going to be bipartisan legislation. Well, how about working on Social Security and Medicare at the same time?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we have this spirit of conciliation. These bozos.
And neither one of them are that difficult to fix.
No, they're not. It's already been fixed by the Simpson-Bowles report. It's all out there. It's done for them. And you know what? It doesn't take a lot of courage to say, let's accept the Simpson-Bowles report, put it into a committee, joint committee between the House and the Senate, work out all the ifs, ands, and buts, and bring it on back out.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter. I shouldn't say this for nationwide. I should say it doesn't matter here whether the obstructionist is Massachusetts or it's national. We have a state legislature that has this attitude or this idea, just like the Democrats and Republicans do in Washington. There's always this element that says, no, we can't do this for this reason. We don't have Our legislature has been trying to put together a handheld phone bill for 2 years now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, all of 2 years.
And they can't do it because every time they get close, you get one of those nincompoops in Roxbury that says, "Oh, now they'll racial profile. They'll only stop black people from talking on the phone."
Yeah.
Well, that's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, his point was that blacks don't usually have house phones, landlines, so they talk a lot more on their cell phones than white folk do.
Well, but don't do it while you're driving.
Don't talk about racism. I mean, this is ridiculous, for heaven's sakes. Absolute nonsense. But that bunch into the State House, Dwayne, I swear to you, that old adage about putting them all on a boat, taking it out and sinking
the damn boat.
is the best thing you could do. Now, here's something.
And you thought today when you turn this channel on, you were going to have a nice time.
It's going to get worse, folks.
Yeah, just hang on.
Yeah, just hang on.
Tighten that seatbelt, even though we don't have a primary seatbelt law.
Now, this one I am really ripped about.
Okay.
All right? Do you folks remember Elizabeth Smart being kidnapped?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And being raped continually by this old nutbag and cheered on by his wife, and she held Elizabeth Smart down while he did his thing. She was jailed and given a long sentence. They are releasing her.
I was just going to ask our viewers whether they could guess what was going to happen here.
They've released her.
Yeah, that's terrible.
After 15 years out of, I believe, a 40-year sentence for rape.
Yep.
15 years, and they've put that horrible person back out on the street. If you want to start carrying signs saying, "No justice in Utah, be my guest."
Yep.
This is absolutely the wrong thing to be doing. When we put people in prison, penology, we're punishing them for their deeds.
That's right.
Oh, we're overcrowded. Gee, we'd like to release some that aren't a danger to the community. This woman's behaved for 15 years. Let's let her out. Baloney.
Yep. If you let somebody out into society, you should accept responsibility for their actions.
Absolutely.
If you were responsible for letting them loose, you should be responsible for the action. Here is a perfect follow-up or segue to that one. The boat attack suspect that killed this guy 55 miles offshore on a fishing boat and almost killed the second guy. This one really fired me. He was arrested in Virginia for damn near killing his wife, for choking his wife. They put him in jail, locked him up, and then they find out he's illegal alien. ICE gets a hold of him. They're holding him for deportation. Some damn judge lets him go. He lets him go. He gets a job on the boat. He kills one person. He damn near kills another one. Now that judge should be serving some jail time.
You better believe it. But the judges are just like sacred white cows.
They're immune to this
in this country.
Yep.
Well, we can't, mess with them. They've got to be free of all, pressure and everything to come to a reasonable decision. Oh, by the way, I wasn't prepared to talk about this, but I'm telling you something. The bail system in this state is absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, I know.
The sentencing is ridiculous. But I've been noticing more and more. Jack Smith was sentenced to 12 years for armed robbery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I know where you're going with this.
The prosecution had asked for 18 years. The defense had asked for 6 years. So the judge took the exact midpoint between what the prosecution wanted and what the defense wanted, and that's what he gave him.
Well, it's just he doesn't have to think about it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Or another thing, on bail, this bothers me. This is not right. The dangerousness hearings. Now, today, it used to be actually how dangerous is this person to get out. Now they take into how wealthy he is, what kind of assets he has to set bail. I don't have any money. I get $1,000 bail. You're wealthy, so they sent yours at $50,000, even though I may hell a lot more dangerous than you are.
Yeah. It just simply doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make any sense. It's that social engineering that we seem to be falling right into.
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing too on setting bail, the judges don't look at the guy's past record.
No, and some of them they can't.
Yeah,
that's just mind blowing.
This guy could have a record a mile long for violent crime. Put him back out there.
Yep, exactly. And a lot of them have 15, 20 pages of stuff.
Yeah.
How in the hell is he walking the streets?
How is he out there in the first place?
Yeah.
You're right. I agree.
We warned you.
Well, York, Pennsylvania. A Maryland man is facing a simple assault charge after using a dog leash to lead his wife around a Pennsylvania fair
I did read that one.
because she has late-stage dementia. And he said he only gently tugged on the leash, which he uses to keep his wife from getting lost. It said that he's attempted to put the leash on around his wife's waist, but that it somehow moved up around her neck.
I don't know about that, how it got from the waist to the neck. But
yeah, I suspect he put it around her neck, but
I suspect
and some
so too.
people are offended by that.
Yeah, you used to see little kids with like a halter.
Yes, a
harness
halter,
with
right, and the buckle on the back or something, yeah. It would seem to me that would have been a much better way to go. But you know what? That's a real problem. If, taking care of Alzheimer's patients
You bet it is,
and all
because
of that.
they wander off so fast and so quick, and they get so lost, they're so disoriented. They don't know who they are, where they are, or anything else.
My wife knows a lady here in town that decided to go to Walpole for gas. Mm-hmm. She ended up in New Hampshire.
Oh, yeah.
Ran out of gas.
Yep.
You got to be so careful. I don't know. That's a tough situation. Now, waste of space. The Globe actually published this. Mayor, age 73, kills a horse-eating gator. She lost a small horse to a 12-foot, 580-pound gator.
Huge.
Went out and shot it between the eyes. She's having the head at a taxidermist. Yep. They're going to eat the meat, and they've skun it, and they're going to make boots out of the skin.
Luggage or something, yeah.
But would you tell me something? What on God's name is newsworthy about this? It probably happens down south. It probably happens 50 times a week. You got gators in your backyard, you shoot the damn thing.
Yeah, it's
because she happens to be the editor or mayor of a small town down there. Is that newsworthy?
Well, Bill, what did she use to kill that gator?
A rifle.
A gun.
Oh, no.
A gun.
Oh, no.
She didn't jump on its back and try to talk it into leaving on its own.
This is a story that really burns me. I was raised as the police are your friends, they're your protectors.
Yep, I was
you always cooperate with the police.
And respect.
And respect them, yes.
That was the big thing, yeah.
You read so many of these stories. This one's a pip. A former Boston police officer was convicted Monday of illegally purchasing 2 guns for acquaintances, federal prosecutors said. Officials said Adabad Karani, 38 of West Roxbury, acted as a straw purchaser of 2 pistols, a Glock 40 and a Glock 45, that cannot be acquired by civilians.
I was going to say, those are very, very powerful weapons.
Yep. He used his police identification to buy the weapons and falsely certified that the guns were for his own use as a police officer, prosecutors said. He also falsely stated during one purchase the gun was not for resale. Karani was found guilty of 2 counts of making a false statement during the purchase of a firearm and 2 counts of making a false statement in a record. Officials said he is scheduled for sentencing on December 10th and faces up to 10 years in prison and a fine of $250,000 for each charge. He probably doesn't have any money, so they're not going to get any money out of him.
The fines are usually neither here nor there.
Yeah, but I mean, they're for big dealers.
Yep.
Yeah, but this guy, a police officer, because the other people he was selling them to couldn't buy them legally. Now, you know these are illegal weapons and probably going to be used in a crime.
Someplace, otherwise they wouldn't be buying them.
And he's a cop.
Yeah, see, I've said this before, and we discussed this. There are certain positions and certain occupations you have to be held to a higher standard.
Absolutely.
You just it's the nature of what you do. People depend on you. They trust you. When you violate that trust, your punishment should be, if it should be here for one, it should be up here for you.
Absolutely. No doubt about it at all, because you are betraying a trust with the population.
It's much different scale, but you get somebody up here at Walpole or Norfolk Prison, when the corrections officers smuggles in drugs for the inmates. That's worse than he was dealing on the street someplace.
Absolutely. No, I couldn't agree with you more. By the way, we have some animal things here that are...
No, I like animal things.
Yeah. Shark attacking seal reported off the coast of Cape Cod.
No.
A shark attacking a seal. Have you ever heard of such a thing?
Does PETA know about this?
Wow. And they, look at how the size of the headline
it's crazy.
In the paper. It happens every day. The great white sharks feed on the seals, folks.
Yeah.
It's supper or breakfast or lunch.
That's right. It's party time out there for them.
Give me a break. And here's another one. Australian island sees second shark attack. Well, boy, oh boy. The sharks are attacking down there. Maybe the sharks are striking back at human beings for polluting the ocean. Have you ever thought of that one?
Could be.
Fatal shark attack calls for action.
Now, what in God's name can you do about the ocean and sharks? I don't care how big a deal you think you are as a town administrator or a mayor or a governor. That's like telling the tide, don't come in.
We should ask our town administrator here what he'd do about a fish attack down a Highland Lake.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Probably get a lot of wisdom out of him. Whether the solution is to cull the seal population,
impossible,
the shark population, or both, we must not hesitate to do it. You have got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Every time we get scrolling with the seals, you know, the cute little white seals, the harp seals, that the Inuits would kill in the spring on the ice and skin them, and they'd use the meat also. Well, PETA said, oh no, you're killing baby seals. This is terrible. Well, so they stopped it. Now, it started
That's
back
right,
up
yeah.
again, by the way.
I hadn't seen that for years because you used to always have the picture in the paper of these nasty Newfoundlanders going out on the ice floe and bashing their heads
They
in.
stopped it, and guess what happened?
I can imagine.
The seals overpopulated and wiped out the fishing grounds that the Inuits were using. So now they have no fish to eat and no seals to skin or no seal meat to eat. Boy, that really worked out well, huh?
Sure
So
did.
the hunt is back on again, by the way.
Okay.
But it's, don't talk about it.
I had an accountant in Newfoundland, and first time I was going up there, they said, don't come the first 2 weeks or first 3 or 4 weeks of March. And I said, why? And he said, well, that's seal hunting.
Seal hunting season, right.
I thought, come on, I know I'm naive, but you guys are pulling me up. I figured they were laughing in the back room, but they weren't.
Well, it's like Wisconsin and Michigan. The
hunting
first
season.
couple of weeks there in November when deer hunting season is, don't come up and expect to see me.
They won't be here.
Nope. Rehab space tightening as seals wash ashore. So far, 84 harbor seals were found dead or stranded on southern Maine beaches so far this month. That's far above the 10-year average of 38 strandings in August. Listen, nature is a wonderful manager of wildlife.
That's right.
And when there's too many seals, she sends them up on the beaches to die.
Yep.
Okay?
We went.
How is that hard to believe?
We got gray seals off the Outer Cape.
Yeah, they call them
gray. I think they're
harbor seals or whatever.
I saw a stat not too long ago that in 6 years' time we went from 16,000 population to 50,000. That was a couple of years ago already, 50,000, and the population's not going like this. It's going like this. Well, of course, when you get that kind of condensation of seal bodies in one spot, you're going to have a lot of fatalities, a lot of deaths. They're going to get old and die.
And guess what? The fish are wiping out. The fish are being wiped out by the seals.
Yeah, there's less to eat.
And the seals can't get enough to eat, especially the young pups that are fighting for their existence. Then they die and they wash up. How is this so tricky? Mm-hmm. But I suspect the do-gooders are going to start buying food and going out in Boston Harbor and feeding the seals.
Yep.
And here's another tragic story from the Globe. Look at the size of this article.
Oh, yeah.
Thousands of clams die on Revere Beach. Thousands of people die of all sorts of diseases in Africa, but you don't see that in the Globe every day or every week or every month. But boy, oh boy, clams died.
Well, it could be Clamsgate.
Clamsgate.
Yeah.
I never thought of that. Could be. Wow, this is amazing.
I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Our iconic donut shop, Dunkin' Donuts, has now taken the word donuts off of their logo. Do you think they're going to sell any more of anything by making that logo change?
Or better yet, it's worked for how many years?
Yeah, that's right.
Why do you fix something that's not broken? These
people, you know what it is?
Yes.
You get these committees. I'm sure someplace there in Dunkin' Donut Land, you got this group sitting around a big table, making big money, big marketing people saying, we got to make a change. And they come up with these idiot ideas and spend probably that thing is as many donut shops there or Dunkin' Donuts there are in the country to change the signage.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be untold millions of dollars in expenses.
How about the cups? You make a gazillion a year. You got to take the donut off the cups. Dunkin's is going to be.
I used to call that retail talk.
Yeah.
When I got out of college, I went with a retailer on a management development program. And I started on a setup crew on a brand new store. These stores were like Walmart's. They were 100 and some thousand square feet. And they were mass merchants and they were big. I spent time on that setup crew, and then I became an operations manager, and then a merchandise, a store manager, and this is all within months, 2 months here, 3 months here, and then I got moved into purchasing as a buyer. But they give you the whole experience from right on up. It was a good program.
That's a good program, is right.
I remember standing in that store when they were doing setup in the luggage department. All right, they had I don't know the colors. They had blue suitcases, green suitcases, yellow suitcases, and white suitcases. 4 corporate management type people standing there arguing, should the blue suitcases go before the yellow suitcases, or should the green ones be over there? And they were furious over them. And I said, what the hell's the difference? Nobody's going to come in here and say, gee, I wanted that blue one, but it was next to the yellow one, so I can't buy the blue one.
Yeah, I'll get the green one.
Yeah, I won't buy any because it was not in the right order.
Confusing.
But they'd spend all day doing this.
And if one member of top management came along and watched what was going on, he'd fire them all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
5.
Good. Do you care that Coca-Cola has bought Moxie?
No. Have you ever had Moxie?
Yeah, it's like drinking battery acid.
I have never had it until I have no idea what it is. And
next time I go to Maine, I'll bring you back a bottle.
Okay.
Oh, God.
I think you can probably buy it at Cracker Barrel over there. They got all kinds of stuff like that.
You may have something. Now, are you ready for another outrage?
Absolutely.
We may have to retry just literally thousands of operating under the influence of alcohol arrests.
Oh, yeah,
and because of the machine.
Yep.
Those things were, at one time, very fussy.
Mm-hmm.
You had to clean them things properly.
Yep.
And if you didn't, you got false readings. Also, you could fool them, too.
Yeah.
And you could make them come up with the wrong number and print it out. I mean, it was...
Well, some states, apparently, they can't use the field one.
Right.
I guess there is ones in the stations that are calibrated.
Yeah, but those are the ones that got to be cleaned after each
that's
use,
right.
And if they don't do it properly...
Did you see on that PD Live once in a while, they'll bring that little
gun
tiny,
light.
Yeah. He said, I can't use it anyway. Just blow. And I'm thinking, you damn fool, and don't do it because it's just going to use it again.
Well, it might enable him to walk. If he only has had 2, I'd blow on
in that case, yeah.
Yeah. But if I had 7 or 8.
If I knew damn well I wasn't going to pass it.
Yeah, then you can keep your gun. But this is going to be, and by the way, these people have known this.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't matter.
The integrity and accuracy of breath test instruments in use across the Commonwealth at this time has never been determined to be an issue in this case, and we stand behind it. But by the same token, they also realize that there are ways that this comes up with incorrect. Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, I'll tell you. Typical Massachusetts nonsense. Interviewing students at random at Columbia. First Amendment to the Constitution guarantees 5 rights. What are they? 40% of the students could not name one.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Freedom of the press, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of religion, and freedom to petition government for a redress of grievances. 40% of them couldn't even get one.
Just like the guy, the lead-in on that PD Live, he says, I know my rights. I got a right to light and liberty and something else.
I'm telling you. I got one more.
Okay, quick.
In a survey of manufacturers last week, the number one problem is they cannot find qualified individuals to hire.
Oh, I'm not surprised at that. Once the employment rate or unemployment rates gets down below 4, that's in essence nobody left. You get down to the threes. Those people are barely employable, if employable.
In fact, they often talk about the total employment picture, and it's at 6.6 now. And that counts people that are disabled. That counts people that don't want to go to work. So it's never been that low.
No.
Yeah. So I got some good stuff here for us again next time.
Yeah, I do too.
But I'll put that across.
That can lead us into AIDS discrimination and employment too. That's another bugaboo for me.
And we also got to get to colleges in discrimination.
Oh my
I get
God!
some stuff on that.
Talk about racism.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So blatantly racist.
Ridiculous. Boys and girls, thank you for tuning in. I'm sure you enjoyed it, and come back in a couple of weeks, and we will spoon up some more good stuff for you.
Yeah, we warned you.
And we warned you. That's right. You always are pre-warned here.
Yep.
So, have a great one, folks. Fall is coming.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.